Peace and prosperity. This is Asaya Mystic coming to you with another message to help you free your heart and soul. As you come into this live stream, or even if you're catching the replay, make sure you give this video a thumbs up because it helps other people to see my video. It helps other people to, get in the algorithm. So this is just a disclaimer. I don't know how clear and thorough this video is going to be because Aleva is up. Aleva's up and she's active, but she's running around. So thought it was a good time to hop on here and talk about what I want to talk about today, which is the fact that all women are high value. All women are high value, and there's only one thing that a woman should ever think to be accountable for, ever. So that's what we're going to be getting into in this video. And this video was definitely inspired, okay? This video was inspired by all of the women out there and even the men who have at some point challenged the worth of a woman. Whether they be a friend, a family member. I know in my own personal life, in my own journey, women figures, even women friends, just women in my life that have at some point looked at me and questioned me for my worthiness based off of desiring certain things. So when you start to set your standards higher and higher, when you start to evolve and you start to accept your highest level of desire, which I talk about in my course, Activating Earth Feminine, when you start to activate your highest level desire, it's going to make some people uncomfortable. And that's going to just be okay. It's going to make some women uncomfortable, specifically women who have not seen themselves as worthy for a certain period of time or a certain length of time. Oh, Aleva, mommy got to put her phone on the charger.
No, I'm playing the Mexico. Let's play game.
Okay, you can play the game, but it's gonna go dead very soon. Yeah, it's dead. You wanna go get the charger?
What's the charger?
It's in the living room. You want mommy to go get it?
Okay. Go get it.
Okay, I'm going to get the charger and I'll be back on this live. Intermission. All right, I'm back. So as I was saying, on your journey into activating your divine feminine energy, it's on your journey into activating your divine feminine energy, you're going to run into a lot of people who don't want you to get the things that you want, who don't want you to be in your power. And these people, they might be women, they might be men, they might be, I mean, there's really no other option. There is either another woman or it's a man who despises the fact that you have the audacity to ask for what you want out of life and to see yourself as worthy and expect that out of life. And there's people, men and women, in my experience, it's always been a woman. It's always been a woman who has questioned my worth and whether or not I am worthy or deserving of the things that I say that I want. You know, it'll be things like, well, what makes you worthy? What makes you think you're deserving of that? If I say something as simple as, you know, in a relationship, I want somebody who is Olivia, hush. If I say something as simple as, I want a man that is a provider, put your feet down. If I want a man that is a provider, if I want a man that provides and protects for me, which is what men are supposed to do. Anyway, they're like, well, what makes you think you're worth a man that fully provides and for you and fully protects you? What makes you think you're worth someone like that? And it's like, what? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's natural order. That's natural order. So I think a lot of women specifically, because really this video is mainly for women, are confused. Look, the phone is back on so you can play your game. Yeah, because I gotta play her a game. Kidopia. There goes. Kidopia.
Cupcake.
Oh Lord, she said cupcake. Okay, it thinks I'm saying another language. Kidopia. Olivia, just don't say nothing. Let me say Kidopia. All right, that's your word. There it goes. Kidopia. All right, keep the phone on the charger, because if you don't keep it on the charger, then it's gonna die. Okay? I just said keep the phone on the charger. It's gonna die. She gonna learn the hard way. Okay, so this girl, this came at good timing. How does one discern if you can take that chance to grow together? Are you talking about in a relationship? Do you think we limit ourselves with how we see the men should protect and provide? Yes, I do. I think we severely limit I'm even gonna say we. I think that a lot of women, because of, and this is because of, okay? We didn't just wake up one day and be living in the reality that we're living in. This is because of generationally, we're coming out of a dynamic of literally like a slave mind, a slave mindset. So if we want to really, at this point in time, expand, we have to recognize that a lot of the ways that we have related to each other are based off of limited thinking and survival mindset, especially women. So a lot of women feel, or some women feel as though they have to mold and mend and bend who it is that they really are so that they can please a man, because the man has become the prize, and the man has become, the means for survival. If you don't have a man, then you're pretty much, I don't know how I'm going to survive without a man type of mentality, so we're coming from that. A lot of women are coming from that space. So they feel like they need to They feel like they need to jump through all these hoops and do all these things, whether that be, it could be anything. It could be cooking and cleaning all the time. It can be, anything that you're doing that you don't really want to do, but you feel like you have to do because a man is expecting you to do it, is a signal that you're off with your value. You're off with the way that you feel and think about yourself. Because a lot of women have also been programmed to forget that they are the reason for everything that's in existence. So all you have to do is change the way you feel about yourself and the things that you want, and you will create that thing that you actually want.
I get that toys.
That's nice.
The toys.
Okay, yeah. So basically, all women are high value. And the only thing that a woman should be accountable for is her self-worth and her self-esteem and where that is at. That's the only thing a woman should be accountable for. The only thing a woman should be accountable for is how she feels about herself. That's it. Because everything from there will be a ripple effect. Because when a woman feels good about herself, she'll feel good enough to be able to nurture and take care of her children and love her children, really love her children. She'll feel good enough to enjoy her life and be attractive to people, places, men. When a woman feels good about herself, the world is a happy place. And right now, there's a group of women that have, really just brainwashed. And I'm speaking from my experience, of being born into this life where I grew up, in New Orleans as a child. I experienced and witnessed firsthand what it's like for young girls and young women to experience sexual abuse, molestation, things like that, and not be heard and not be considered, truthful or worthy of even being defended in those situations. Oh, that's cute.
It's a cupboard.
I've experienced coming out of that and growing up in white schools that weren't melanated, schools that were, mixed or integrated. I've experienced what it's like to be seen as, the ugly Black girl. Nobody would really being a Black girl. For what? You just sad because I'm talking to my followers and not you. But you can't be selfish like that. Mommy needs time to herself too. Here, sit down.
No, I want it.
You want to go to sleep?
No, I'll see the beans.
Oh, you want to eat your beans? There you go. So yeah, I've experienced what it's like to be in a non-melanated setting where people aren't blatantly telling you, how they feel about you. But, I grew up, I knew what it felt like to be ostracized for how I looked. And I also know what it feels like to be put down as a young girl by men in my family for wanting to be feminine. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing. If I put on makeup, it was a problem. If I put on a slither of eyeshadow, it was a problem. If I even like had started to like or have crushes on boys, I was a whore. I was a demonic whore. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that me personally as as a Afro-Indigenous woman that I experienced that no other women I feel like really experience at the same depth. I had one of my best friends was Native American, and her father was in the police force, and even in her family. That's all right. You'll clean it up in a second. Um, Here, you want to watch your show? I had turned it down. There you go. Yeah, even in her family, and they were Native American, she would tell me on the low, if she ever, really seriously thought about getting with a black guy, that her family would be disappointed in her. Or would just be stuff that her dad would say to me. I remember one time we were in the car and he was like, yeah, you got to watch out for you know these black guys out here, because usually everybody I be arresting, they be black. And I'm just like, I was just surrounded by not only this hatred, insidious hatred, and side eye from people outside of me, but even the people, women and men, on the inner part, of my family, had a problem with themselves. On my dad's side, people would it was like this divide between high yellow and the dark skins. And if you were high yellow and your hair was a little bit smoother, you was typically way more bougie. You were much more posh, and you look down on the darker skinned family members, talk more mess about them. And my grandmother was a dark woman, so she experienced her own phase, and of experiencing, really just trying to find a way to love herself. People don't really understand how strenuous that has been when you are coming into this life without that sturdy foundation of of energy that says, yes, you are worthy. As an Afro-Indigenous woman, as a Black woman, whatever you want to call it, you are 100% worthy. It doesn't matter what your hair looks like. It doesn't matter how you decide to live your life. Whatever you want to do with your vagina, whatever you want to do with your life, you are worthy. You are high value just by being in existence. And it's funny because I hear so many people on this wave, hooping and hollering about how the Black woman is God, the Black woman is this, it's like you ride that bandwagon for a little bit of time. But then when push come to shove, and you really have to acknowledge a woman for all that she is, every emotion, every up, every down, every positive, every negative, because women are also naturally negatively vibrating energies, okay? And that's powerful in and of itself. Negative ions are more powerful than positive ions. When it's raining outside, that's a negative those are negative ions. When you have a Himalayan salt lamp, those are negative ions that are calming you, that are bringing you peace. Okay, so let me see some of these comments. I've just been rambling. I feel so bad trying to separate from these white institutions. You shouldn't. I mean, it would only make you feel bad if you're doing it from a place of hate. So just do it from a place of love. You don't have to hate nobody. Just love yourself. Why does that make you? You look gorgeous, Asaya. Thanks. I am joyful you are sharing this information. We need more of these conversations in our lives. today. Yeah, we do. We need no, these kind of conversations require truth, require raw vulnerability. It requires, past mistakes, acknowledging past mistakes. It requires uh self-awareness. It requires you saying and acknowledging how you've played a part. And I think that that's more of something we'll definitely see in the future, in the coming of times. Because, the era that came before me, and I definitely, I'm just like looking back on how people were previous to my generation. And I'm like, people were, I don't even know, because like I said, for a woman to just have the audacity to say that somebody has abused her was a problem. Not even, what, 10, 15 years ago? It's a problem. You know, people in I know in the Black community, I don't know about any other community, will have a problem with a woman, even sometimes men who come out and want to defend themselves against men or women in higher positions that have played a part in some type of abuse in their life, whether it be sexual abuse, um, psychological abuse. The topic of abuse and the topic of, when it comes to us as grown people, we can do something to change it. But if we don't, then it will always telepathically leak into the lives of our children. Because when we get into the law of attraction and how things happen energetically, we always come to question, well, are children attracting the bad experiences that they have in their lives? Because I'm telling y'all the experience I had as a child. So in a way, I was vulnerable, and a lot of what I attracted was because of the energetic vibrations that my parents carried. And so they were that telepathically influences what your children will then attract. So if you're a woman and you have low self-esteem, you have low self-worth, you don't like yourself, you don't like, your life, you just all of these subconscious things, the ways that you feel about yourself, maybe consciously you don't know it, but the way that you act and the way that you carry yourself and the way that you allow other people to treat you definitely shows. This is what enables, this is what I call the enabler, and I talk about this in my book. You become the enabler, and the enabler is worse than Pick Misha, Bob the Builder, whoever y'all want to label whoever as. The enabler is worse than both of these women, because the enabler is the woman who allows things to happen that just shouldn't happen. We are the gatekeepers. That's the only thing that we need to get through our heads. We are the gatekeepers, and we hold the doorway to what is morally acceptable. And as of right now, women are so concerned about having a man that they don't give two shits about what's morally acceptable anymore. Or survival, right? Or survival. They don't care about what's morally acceptable anymore. So they're scared to lose their man in opposition to this moral compass, if that makes, of course, it makes sense. They're scared to lose their man in opposition to this moral compass. But that's the whole reason that you exist. Because men are gonna be who they are, right? Not all men are the same. Of course, we know that, but they all have one thing in common, that they have a drive to want to conquer and succeed in life. That's the main similarity. So with that being said, you are the portal. You are the gatekeeper as to what success looks like. What that even looks like. You are the power source to that. So when you have such a low perception of yourself and a low frequency of how you feel about yourself, it will automatically ripple into the lives of your children, into the lives of all the earth as a whole, the frequency of the earth. So this is the only thing women need to be accountable for, because this affects the livelihood of your children. And this is also why people have done, I won't even say people, but those people, the system, whatever, those alien weirdos have done so much to try to convince you out of that, to try to convince you out of your value. And I had to let a lot of people go at a period in my life. I had to let the energy or the little slither of doubt within me go that said or questioned if I was even worthy. Because I didn't need any more of that in my life. I didn't need any more of that to come with me to the place that I'm headed. Because a lot of women talk about how we're goddesses and this and that, but you don't even know what it means to be a goddess if you are questioning your worth in situations. You're questioning your validity in what you think and what you feel. A goddess says what she says, she thinks what she thinks, and that's it. And maybe she'll take it up for consideration if she feels like it at some point. But if not, oh well, because she's a goddess and she never comes off her throne for anyone. So my family subconsciously values those white ideals, so it feels icky but right. Our wombs are portals to the earth. Yes, they are. Our wombs are portals to the earth, and we also live on a sacral planet. This planet exists on water. Water doesn't exist on the planet. The planet exists on water. We live on a sacral planet that is ruled by the primordial waters, which is the same energy that generates from our womb space. Right? In the human design, they teach you that yeah, you took it off the charger. When you take it off the charger, it dies. So you have to leave it on the charger. If you look into the human design, then they will also teach you in the human design that the 70% of the world is ruled by generators. And the generators operate from their sacral center. 70% of the world. And also they teach you in the human design that the generators are the reason for everything that exists on the planet. They're the reason for so they teach you that manifesting and that everybody's a manifester, but everybody's not a manifester. Keyword, manifester. Everybody's not a manifester. Majority of the planet is a generator. More on that later, but everything comes from this sacral center, from this sacral place. And most of us intuitively know this, but we be hopping on trends instead of actually learning. Instead of actually learning. So I encourage people to, seriously, when you hear, like, learn, open up your ears, open up your minds, do your research. This channel is a good place for that, because I usually just find the stuff out and share it. But all women are high value. You don't have to, the only thing that you have to do is just realize that you're valuable. And realizing that you're valuable, keyword real, realistic, reality, you need to be taking action every day, doing things that shows your value. So a few questions to ask yourself. Do you put other people before you? Do you put other people before your wants? Are you good at serving everybody but yourself?
No.
Do you value? Do you value? Who are you screaming at? Who are you screaming at? Okay, remember what I said. You gotta leave it on the charger. All right, there you go. So, oh, Olivia just distracted me a bit. So yeah, do you put other people before yourself? Are you more concerned with what men think than what you actually think? Because I've seen women who will have all kinds of thoughts, perceptions. They have so much value, but then they don't ever, it's never validated until a man comes into the picture and validates it. And then all of a sudden it's a real thing. So it's really interesting, and has opened up my eyes in such a way when I see these types of things. So again, you guys, actually I haven't even said this, but everything that I'm talking about, I go into. Oh, you want to make pizza? Okay. Everything I'm talking about right now, I go into in depth in my book, The Great Woman Resurrected, which will be published physically very soon, so you can pre-order it. I really don't know if I put the link in the description or not, so I'll just put it in the chat. I'll just put my link tree actually. So yeah, all of this I talk about in depth in my book, but basically all women are high value. You don't have to do anything to be valuable. You don't have to be anything to be valuable. You can be whatever you want. You were born valuable. You were born worthy. The only thing you need to do, Oleva. So yeah. Okay, she's about to start screaming and stuff. So I got a large chunk of what I wanted to say out. Oh, Rahul and K2, they calling you.
No.
All right, y'all. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of what I had to say. That's what everybody says. Oh my gosh, everybody says that she is gonna be a singer, cause she be screaming like for fun, like. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I scream with her. This is my remote. I'm just playing. It's ours. It's ours. It's for our. It's for both of us. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of ways that people try to devalue women, men and women. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let people try to talk you out of what you're worth, because of how they feel and what they think they should be doing. I've heard a lot of things, and to me it's just really simple. It's really simple. The woman is the flower. Okay, she's the flower. The flowers and the fruits of the branches of the tree. And the masculine energy is the roots that delve down deep into the earth, okay? And they secure and they support and they enable women to flower and become her creative, beautiful, abundant self, which then floods into the oceans and the rivers of life. And now we are all nurtured. We are all fed and abundantly provided for because a woman is happy somewhere. Because a woman is happy somewhere. Everybody on this planet was birthed through a woman. She created your body, and the earth also gave you your body. Because as I continuously keep saying, Venus is not the sole feminine principle. Venus is not, everybody knows how the Venus symbol represents a woman and the male symbol represents Mars, or it looks like the Mars symbol. But it's actually the earth that is the primary feminine energy on this planet. And that's the energy that people don't want to see, feel. That the earth is naturally valuable. Are you kidding me? People come to earth to live luxuriously, to live abundantly, to relish in all of it, earth's beauty and magnificence. And this matrix that is created keeps people in this place of not being able to see that. I mean, it is beautiful how Earth just provides for us, all of us. So when I hear people feel all of these weird, different types of ways about what they think women should be doing. I think women should be doing this and they shouldn't do that, and they have to cover up all the time. And even, just the sovereignty is a feminine principle. So you have to allow women to be who she is without you bumping your gums about what you think she should be doing and how she should be living her life. She's creating her own world. She's creating her own world. Now, mind you, I'm talking about women who are like myself and have grown up in circumstances and situations that literally they felt like they didn't have no say in. They were just born into it. That have chipped away at their self-esteem and their self-worth and put them in predicaments where, now they're literally reclaiming themselves, their worthiness, their power. This is who I'm talking to. Any other woman or whatever that I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to these women. I'm talking to the women who feel like they need to silence themselves and enable other people to tell them what they should and should not be doing and what they are and are not worth. I just do not agree with that. I think that I believe in freedom. I've said that before. I believe in freedom, and in freedom you always have a choice. And women should always have a choice. And they should never be made to feel less than for whatever choices that they have made. We all, especially women specifically, you have your own earth walk. You have your own earth path. And you develop certain skills through your earth, your earth walk and your earth path. But this time around, in this era, the feminine is rising. And I just did a previous live video yesterday about how the masculine energy is now it's y'all turn. Now it's y'all's turn to really respect the order of things. Because I also hear and see a lot of spiritual folk who it's like a type of spiritual bypassing where they pretty much act like male and female don't exist. Everybody's feminine and masculine, everybody has the same thing, and you are spiritually bypassing. Stop it. Okay? Well, just because we're talking about masculine and feminine don't mean we're talking about male and female. Yes, we are. Because males are the physical embodiment of masculine energy. Women are the feminine embodiment of feminine energy. So y'all confuse me when y'all be like, it doesn't matter. You could be whichever energy and it doesn't matter. And it's like, no, you don't want to face the truth. You don't want to face what's real. You don't want to face your shit. That's really what it is. You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, dang, I be all over the place. Like you denying the body, bruh. You're so spiritual, you denying the body. Right? And the body is feminine. The earth is feminine. When we come here into bodies, it's before you even become a man, you're a woman in the womb. So to have a body is feminine principle. To be in your body and to be present in your body and to feel into your body and to listen to your body is feminine. For you to just keep denying the fact that you have this sexual organ and it doesn't matter because we're all masculine and feminine. And if you're more masculine than you are feminine, why were you born the way you're born? You know, then this is when a conversation of homosexuality and all that comes in, but I'm not going to go there today because I don't feel like it. So maybe another day. But all that to say, women are high value. They don't have to prove it. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to make yourself into anything or anyone other than you are. And for all the women who feel the need to put other women down just because you have not lived up to your fullest potential in life, you know, that's not gonna be it's not really gonna work out for you come next year. It's just not. It's just not. You have to elevate into a higher cognition and understanding of what it means to be feminine and what it means to be a woman. You know, so the only thing that women should ever be accountable for or feel accountable for is the way she feels about herself. And this will protect you. This will protect your children. This will shift the frequency of the earth. It benefits everyone. When you are in a good emotional, mental state of being, and anybody who puts you out of that state of being, pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to how you be feeling when you be around people and how they make you feel, you know, and get them out of your life like instantly. Be who you are. Allow yourself to flower regardless if you have a man or if people like you or whatever, you know. It has a lot to do with you being in your feminine power and how you even are able to sustain yourself without having a physical man doing everything for you, you know. When you are in your creative center in this place of of power and magnitude. A lot of women have also been brainwashed. Oh my gosh. Brainwashed into thinking that, so many things. Did you drink all the water in that gallon? Where's the other gallon? Where's the other gallon? Oh, there it goes. Bring it to mommy. She be drinking the gallon. Okay, here you go. I'm just kidding. She doesn't drink a gallon of water. That would be way too much water for your body.
Don't drink it.
Me? Oh, okay. It tastes like water. So, yeah, a lot of women have been brainwashed also into believing that they have to be either prudent, with their sexuality. They have to cover this area. The brainwashing really a lot of it stems from what you think you should be doing in relationship to what men think you should be doing for to coddle whatever insecurities they have, you know. But like when you always keep in mind you are and you are the lawmaker. So when you subscribe to certain fears that maybe like a man in your life has, women in your life, whoever, you're just born into these things. It's like you're feeding the generational cycle of not flowering into your fullest capacity, your full potential. Some people say drinking water helps increase feminine energy. Yeah, water is definitely a feminine element. Water chakra is the sacral chakra. We live on a water planet. I was just talking about this. That's ruled by water. Everything is basically water has a big part of what goes on here. So when you drink a lot of water and when you take baths often, you live close to the ocean, you live close to lakes, rivers, waterfalls. When you surround yourself with water often, you become more in the flow. So they talk about this a lot in the law of attraction, how you should always be going downstream with the way you feel. Because when you're going downstream, you're in the flow. You're receiving. It's a receptive energy. You're flowing, okay? You're being feminine. You're being feminine. And this is the most powerful place to be. This is the most because in this place you don't have to do anything. You have to go to action to fix things. And the only time you need to go to the action is when you are at a place where action is necessary. You've been going upstream for so long that action is now necessary. But other than that, if you just go downstream and you just flow in your relaxation and things like that, then yeah, you're good. You are good. Thanks for giving us the wisdom. You're welcome, Eileen. Shout out from Ireland. Is that where you are you the other Ireland person? I think you are. So yeah, but yeah, all that is a big part of why feminine energy is what's happening to it currently, you know, is transmuting, is transforming, but it's coming back into its place. And you know, a lot of people, specifically the weirdo aliens who dislike feminine energy and want to get rid of feminine energy, have destroyed feminine planets, and things like that. They know the power that the feminine has, and they know that when the feminine comes into her full fruition, she recalibrates everything. Everything is over and done with. That's it. Nothing has power. Because that's just how potent and intense feminine energy is here on this planet. And let me tell you, it is so imperative for the sacred masculine to also, like I just said in my previous live video, to merge with his feminine energy. Because the only reason that we're seeing like this heightened level of the way things are looking now is because of the denying of feminine energy. So meaning like when a woman denies her masculine energy, or she's had a traumatic experience with masculine energy, the masculine energy usually overtakes her, and she becomes masculine, or she becomes, you know, lesbian, gay, whatever. So it's like the same thing with men when they deny their feminine energy and they don't ever allow themselves to tap into it. They start to, you know, become feminine, and then maybe even cross that line, you know, into that area. So y'all know what I mean when I say that area. So yeah, the sacred masculine is a very key in this puzzle as well, because the sacred masculine has so much influence and so much power when he is activated. And I think that if there were more men letting go of this false system and hierarchy of understanding masculine energy, like this false distorted masculine energy, which is wither away, and the sacred masculine will begin to rise and be an example. It's so influential, right? And especially if they're the ones that are like getting the women, they're the ones that are making the money or whatever, you know. It doesn't even have to be that way, but in the way it's perceived is like, oh, okay, so this is how you do that, you know. That's what we need. That's what I would love to see more of, which I'm already seeing it. Just little by little. But it's coming. I know it's coming very soon. But we really gotta, as women, feel a lot better about ourselves, and, you know, stop denying who we are and stop letting other people deny who we are. So yeah. Yeah, guys, we are high value. We deserve to be loved, cherished, and uplifted by our own selves. And walk in our power, walk in knowing what we're worth unapologetically. Ooh, let the church say yes. Yes. Now I just need what's the name of those people? Now I just need the organ player in the background. Boom, 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 boom. Now everybody clapping. The sermon is over. And now we singing and dancing. I sometimes attract men who are overly amorous rather than wanting commitment. I'm wondering how can I achieve more long-term commitment? I sometimes attract men who are overly amorous. What do you mean overly amorous? Like they love, what is overly amorous? Like you attract schmoozers? Overly amorous. What is the amorousness? Is it actions or is it talk, sweet talk? If you want a long-term commitment, then you need to commit to what it is that you want. So you need to ask yourself what you want and then commit to getting that now, not later. So if you want to be married, that needs to be clear. That needs to be clear from like the beginning. And you can't be afraid to be clear about that because a lot of women also feel scared to be clear about what they want. And that's what gets you in situations where you never get what you want because you're never saying what you want out loud. You're just seeing where things go. And you will waste your time like that. So care about your time, care about yourself, and be clear about what you want from jump. So whatever person comes into your life and whatever, maybe it wasn't serious at first and now you're starting to have certain emotions, feelings, whatever, you need to express that. They need to know where you're at, what you want, so that way they can have the option, or I wouldn't even say have the option, but so that way they can know, oh, I need to step my game up or I need to leave. Extra sexy. Men who are sexual. Oh gosh. Men who are sexual, girl. You don't what do you mean sexual? Okay, let me just get one thing straight. That shouldn't even be like a topic of conversation unless y'all are in a committed relationship. So if a man is Aleva she's doing my makeup right now on my wrist. If a man is coming at you in a sexual way, and I know this is like a theme for women who have been assaulted and sexually or stripped of their worth in some way at some point in time, that are susceptible to this. But men who come on very strong sexually, that's one A, he's testing the waters, or B, he's just flat out like telling you that he doesn't respect you, he doesn't want anything from you, he just wants to play with you basically. And so yeah, that's what I got from that just now. What about attracting narcissistic men? Women who are scared of their inner masculine usually end up attracting narcissistic men. Because every woman we all have a twin flame, okay? And our twin flame never leaves us. We are merged with our twin flame spiritually for that's it. That's it. So if you at any point deny your masculine energy, then you most likely will attract a narcissistic man because because that man is showing you how to be in tune with your own inner masculine by being narcissistic. Because if you were that man, right? If you were that dude, and if you were that dude and you saw like this guy that's narcissistic acting the way he's acting in front of you, like, what would he do versus what would he do? How would he feel about this guy? You know, um would he like the guy? Would he dislike the guy? You know, you already know the answer. But normally when you attract narcissistic type men, that's that self-worth thing. Like, for that self-worth to be at its peak, you have to merge with your husband, with your spiritual husband. You have to merge with your divine counterpart within, and you have to know when to shut people down, when to dismiss people, when to no, I'm playing. Slap. No, I'm playing. We're not slapping anyone in here. No slapping, guys. But see, this is me. That's what I feel like my inner masculine just came out just now. Well, not inner masculine, but you know, like that part of me that's like, but really, yeah, you have to merge with that energy. Right, that makes sense. I can see that. I've had boundary issues and not speaking my truth as much. Yeah, they're showing you how to do that. So that's the main reason for that. So start practicing. Aleva, you know you're not supposed to do that. Aleva, when you have a bored 2-year-old toddler, you gonna give me some new makeup. That's what you're gonna do. I'm just playing. Queen, I'm the same. I must improve my boundaries. And yeah, I mean, like I said for Eileen, you have to commit to yourself. A lot of women have been born and bred to serve other people and to put other people's needs, put that down, and to put other people's needs before theirs. You need to commit to what you want, commit to your needs, commit to what you deem is worthy and unworthy. Like I was saying, you're the gatekeeper. You just being around a man is a form of you know, a form of giving him a rites of passage in a sense. So if this man is behaving and treating you in a way that you know is below your standards, and you would never in your life allow somebody to treat your children this way, then why is he still around? Why are you still approving of him? He has not been approved of. And so you want to always make sure you're surrounding yourself with masculine energy, specifically that you would want your children to be around, that you would want your children to look up to and admire and respect and acknowledge. Because if not, you know, and a lot of women, especially before you have children, you don't think like this, because I didn't think like this. But when you do begin to have children, or maybe even before then, if you were raised a certain way, you understand. Aleva, that's enough. Not that one. Play in the eyeshadow, but not that one, okay? Okay? Because mama got to get some more of that. Just a little bit left of that, and I still want some. I will still want to use it. So, what was I saying?
Oh no.
Yeah, gatekeeper. You have to remember that you are the one that, oh my goodness, why do you have to get up this way? Why you can't get up over there? Come on. Don't even answer that. Look, baby wants you. Wow.
Hey, baby wants you.
So yeah,
He wants you. He wants you.
well,
Oh,
I feel like this was a successful live video, and I think I'm gonna do more of these live videos very, very soon. So I appreciate everybody for coming on here and tuning in to this live video. If you have any more questions, go ahead and ask right now so we can get it out the way. But if not, this baby is out of here.
Look, baby.
This baby is out of here.
Look at this.
Boop, 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 boop. Okay, well, before we go, I just want you all to know
Baby.
that I'm going to be making some
Baby.
changes and upgrades to, oh, sorry guys, I forgot that I was the one closing this thing out.
Look at
So before we go,
baby. Look at this.
before we go, I'm just gonna let you guys know that there's gonna be a lot of changes and upgrades and quantum fields of light expanding into this YouTube channel. So be prepared.
Alright.
And I will see you all in the next live video. So thank you all for being a part of this channel and watching. Okay, now I'm just rambling. Okay, y'all. Bye. Big hugs. I don't want to keep holding the
Hello, baby.